She was very fortunate not to have much side effects, and by the end of the month, she had lost 6 kilograms, and in 6 months, she was slimmer by 42 kilograms. Wow, bingo. Binta felt like a new woman. Her spirit was buoyant, her burdens lifted, as if an invisible weight had been peeled away from her shoulders, leaving her radiant, refreshed, and ready to embrace life with newfound vitality. Jawara was pleased to have his happy wife back. He was quite large himself, and Binta had been encouraging him to go on the injections too, but he had a morbid fear of needles and would not consider injecting himself. However, as he watched the weight peel off his wife, he eventually decided to try them himself to shed some excess weight, as his knees were getting quite painful and he often felt breathless moving around the large hotel he managed. So that night, he told a delighted Binta that he wanted to start the injections. Binta screamed in happiness. So tomorrow we can go and see the doctor? Jawara explained that he had already purchased some injections from his clients at the hotel and would start using them the next morning. The couple slept peacefully, imagining themselves on a honeymoon with their new fit bodies. Binta awoke the next morning to the deafening crash of something heavy hitting the ground. Her heart pounded as an unshakable sense of dread washed over her. Barefoot and trembling, she stumbled downstairs, her breath quick and uneven. There, sprawled on the cold kitchen floor, was Jawara, his body convulsing, foam spilling from his lips in a terrifying cascade. Her eyes darted frantically. On the table lay a syringe, the needle glinting in the dim light, a silent witness to an unspeakable act. A scream tore from her throat as panic overtook her. Binta bolted outside, her screams for help piercing the stillness of the night. Neighbors rushed to her side, their faces mirrors of her terror. Someone fumbled for their phone and called for an ambulance. Time slowed to a crawl as Jawara was rushed to the hospital. Binta sat hunched in the casualty room, her hands trembling as she watched the doctors work feverishly on Jawara. Their commands blurred into background noise as her gaze locked on Jawara's still pale face. When they began CPR, a fresh wave of desperation gripped her. "This can't be happening," she sobbed. Her voice was raw with anguish. Her eldest brother arrived moments later, finding her near collapse. He gathered her into his arms as she thrashed and wailed and prayed incoherently, her body racked with grief. Minutes felt like hours until the doctor turned to them. His expression was heavy with finality. The words came sharp and unrelenting. Jawara was gone. Binta's world shattered in that instant. Her screams echoed through the sterile hospital hall, each one a dagger of grief, plunging deeper into the hearts of those around her. Her brother held her tighter, but no embrace could shield her from the void that Jawara's death had left behind. The coroner ruled that Jawara's death was caused by fake medication from an unlicensed source. The news was devastating. How could anyone be so heartless as to create and sell counterfeit medicine, knowing it might cost a life? The sheer cruelty of this shook me to my core, honestly. It left me with a haunting question. How far can greed go? The story doesn't end there. You'll be delighted to know that 7 months after Jawara's death, Binta delivered a baby girl whom she named Ruth after her own mom. It was a bitter, sweet experience. Her quest for a daughter had cost her husband's life indirectly. Many questions remain. Why did Jawara not buy from a credible source? Did he have underlying problems which made the medication not safe for him? What are your thoughts on this story? Kindly share in the comments section. I would love to read your comments. We have come to the end of this story. I hope it resonated with you and you can see how different life events like household household eating habits, grief, pregnancy, depression, and so on can contribute to weight gain and obesity and lead to health problems. I suggest you watch my very next video where I told the story of Anne, who didn't have a period for 7 years and something strange happened to her. Kindly subscribe to the channel and share with others. You just might save a life. Thank you for watching. See you at my next video. Bye.